Suguli Sigwegu.
Siguli.
Yep.
Ganat Dahawi Niungits. Call it Judah Schuyler Niungits. I think my first question I want to ask is about any information that we have on runners. What the runners used to do, how long ago it was when we stopped using runners to send messages. Any information that you all have on that.
Sante kanji nokni gale tiga laksot wijin lunusoda kwegan tostondlinga a stage wagi iganen todeho haletane unkok. Ja kuide ogante unka nate lo natugotu noksi unka sa nate nega wanchi nega lalihwa hawi naoli noksi oksa nyo yingwa nungte kan nyo nang kokni doa sa ji wi nate lo yo dasla ka noksi kagyok na he okna wi lo tugotu tanu yakin wi te wakanutan wi unka di nate yakudugotu noksi Negi, we when a lolly way and daddy unka nate kale.
Did good you tweet tochiga toching wali hold the wiji to near what li wat on di that unkok.
Nokchika to ka don't go quitika ya tigan hadili wahawe unka nate won't don't go de no Kwanok lasano ana kale dat yesano ana kale dat kwaktung dela kwaktung so ko queen agilo we natural causes ya no ne no do ta dili waha ne tok tikoni go tikan kwanok ti agilo we go declan mothers o kale la chief o kale dat adelo wa delo se we ko delo se ne ton oktika agilo hadili waha yakin kwa nok jungkok nata yudungko
Ya hadili ka
nata ni chi la dili waha win asum ko chi ga sastanake
la didake no la
dake ko
dano ka sneka to kandole ni holen saya da to no ya hadungko yakin neto de chino ya to pakas lo dise
kanolu sai slati kanayon
Truck of Nugget Ladadi, Ginot, Gagmonis Lada, Queen. A Queen Madlet, she got a nugget running board, Nella Daddy.
Nokchi, no need then no quackanite to chi at Nella Tona when a running board Model 8 to Latadi. Nokchi to the deal, Negin eat a gilo chick exane, Tony at Latake not ne.
Tak nunggu sket dengan nusaket.
Wahnya dengan nusak.
Wahnya dengan nusak yang ahli
wah. Tu ahli. Dan nusne nak nunghakan. Ya kau jawale ne tikan hagil wi asakwin tanah shell wi cita is ahli. Oilo daga no the tanah shell.
Nate na no kamadu.
Kadokan kecil ni cita ahli.
Kadokan kecil ni do.
Nisa la kaya tala ko ha to ni ne chika yang hati koe. Yang ni ne tau don kwak tika ni o ka na ho.
Aku nak ekmanis la de aku nak chika ya hatung la de. Nika kuita wat toa das.
Niki ni se yo chi o ka no de tika chi to song ni ne a ho wasana kala da de ka no ses ni ka tsaka ya to no no hatli hung. Negi ni no chi bakan te kwidano te non ma ni yo chi.
Tiga ni chi li wayan de li noksin. Hey song kwiju kwa ni ko ha so.
Okay, that wahonu wakta that ni natok we oli waji a town do tahala that
Ka dokasas ni ko ni hat.
ne
Ha dokka ni hadi lo dia dala ko ne sa lawa don Wakan yo le ni hadak sayarat no yahala which yo le lo wa wakna ti hade no yadungo. Kus no tikleti ko lo des kwachin ko de ha has le tikit toila de sayarat lo hale na to yahala wakna ne no yadungo. Da no shako ya na te tata ni thala tikana no yahala which no itla de sayarat Lonu te na ta au liwa chi to na tuwala wak na
Long hano adungo.
Hane ha.
Yo kwichi de yo na ti hao o na nok chi. Ba kwichi ma ni yo ta kwe ko chi yo chi wana klas la ya ko te yo te nyo hati.
Na te sa.
When do any of you remember when there were runners, or is it just stories that you've heard?
Ja ki kwa nok chi gagal so hade kung kwa ki kwa dongon chi tiki niyot. Chi la di naglakwin sili wagai.
Kale tu dagada sawan kui waki kok chia kwase ga laksat nege jakont lunda kwega ne tone ni waga tundao ji. Tanung kwa chante wis kunti ga datkan dagang te ayak sa dua goslia kun.
Tui talk no.
Hi gine akale ga kale hi kui waga tundao ji. Yeah.
And do we know how, I assume it's whoever was fastest, right? But do we know how the runners were picked, who picked them, or was it just volunteer?
Da. Wadi at alag bahado ki chi kayo wadot. No not li hong dak.
They were appointed by, and it used to be they were brought up at the longhouse, and they were appointed, and they needed probably at least 6 or 7 individuals so that they take turns. One will run so far, probably to the next road, and then somebody else continues from there until they cover the community. We don't know currently how it's done now, like who puts them in place, but they needed that many runners, a lot of them, in order to cover the community.
And now, maybe not because they're in a car now.
The last that I heard, there was 2 people, one driving and one standing in the back of the truck, and they went around. So one person can do that now, but I imagine he can't do it too long either because you need your voice to do that. So maybe they have more than 1 or 2.
Pina so je so gan so don ne ke tita gwenin sa ya da tok. Nok yes.
Ja, kui nok
Ja
tonu
kui
pa
nok
ja de
da
ganu
di
sak.
da di kashe.
And when I heard, the last time I heard, it's, I was in the house, but as soon as I heard it, I knew what it was. Like, you just get the chills when you hear it. So I went out there, and I thought they were going to be running. Here, by the time I went out, the truck went by, and he yelled again. So I had to track him down and, see what's going on. He probably yelled at the first house down coming from the hill, that house there. And then by the time I went out there, he was going by my place, and he yelled again, and then I heard him 2 more times before he got to town line. And then they turned. And that's the last time that I heard it. But same thing, the first time I heard it, I didn't know what it was. But when I heard it, that's what happened. I just got the chills because it wasn't a yell that I heard before. But I knew what it was.
Oksin chiwa honi se ne got wichi at na at wat no salonyo kas ne ya we ne to take no so do no what ni at kokna te hon salonyo no wa ona ro queen ne tone no.
Noksi se kun wadi toni hadi e haga.
Så det alla jäkit.
Kale gua noktatta hona daanung sneiga.
And back in those days, they only done that if you died accidentally. Natural causes, no, they didn't do that. It had to be in some sort of accidental accident. Then they had a runner.
We got then like the chief. Agila yon three clanmothers go three kale so yeah go.
Octane face keepers and
I think so.
I would think way back in the day they would they running to warn other villages of other people coming or anything like that?
Just in this nation, because other villages have different beliefs.
So like would they have, do you think they wouldn't have run if, like, say we had, you know, when Oneida and Seneca, when we were all beside each other, then the Oneidas would run through the Oneida land, right? And then when they got to the Seneca territory, then they would carry on? No?
I don't believe so.
But that's the way, I think our way was from way back when we were at Oneida in New York. That's how it was then, and it came over here, and that's how we still do that, or it's done that way to this day. As they're saying here that it's when the chiefs and clan mothers and faith keepers, when they pass or an accident. But there's also the other way that they used to do, and I don't know of anybody who can do it now, is because we have churches now in the community here, and back in the day they used to ring the bell when somebody passed, and when you heard that, it was the same thing. When you heard the bell in the middle of the week or day, you know, you knew right away that, you know, something happened, and people would go down to the church and find out who's passed this time. And depending on the age of the person, that's the way they ring the bell. And
Can you go on with what's?
Glenda Lange.
She was a clanmother.
So it's they used to do that, ring the bell. And now I only think of two churches that still has a bell. And there, you know, that could be wrong if somebody knew how to do that. And other than that, every church in the community here used to have one. And but that's in the past too now, you know, it doesn't happen. And when it came from the funeral home to bring it back here, they would ring the bell there as they brought in the person to the church.
And so that's just for Oneida. So every other nation would have had their own.
They had their own.
Probably, yeah.
Their own system.
Yeah.
Noksi dat ludistagalle lasta niinku te honosliagu adiedi kaneunka natte ne goyada wa to.
Holla dikineunka. If it's church, it's no matter who it is, they do it. Tänä koskeli ne latiat la konchika jo hadlista kallelas.
Yeah, because in the church they knew how to ring that bell to let people know that it was a death, why that bell was ringing. And I think when they used to bring the body home, I think there was another ring again that they were to let people know that the body has arrived home.
And the person that rang the bell had to know how to ring it, because they used to say that if it double rang when it's ringing, there's going to be another death shortly after. So you have to be careful when you're ringing the bell that you do it slowly so that it'll ring one way and then it comes back and then it stops, and then until you're ready to ring again.
So they go to school.
And we had all different guys ringing the bell, and
all the churches had different men, ringing. Like ours, our Anglican, it was Eli Farmer that used to ring the bell there. And before that, it used to be John Lige, the old John Lige, that used to ring the Anglican. I don't know. I was seeing the other day, the different churches. The Anglican. Shaman used to ring.
Shaman Nicholas.
Old Baptist.
Old Baptist College, what the United Church. That ja te handlun tununguat listagalle last. Ta Angus Hill kaskunet tunun ta listagalle last.
Nearskaskea, Angus Hill. United Church was listagalle last.
Kalle Quacky Jonte Russell Antone fellowship.
Russell.
So they knew how to ring the bell, so that it stayed.
And how they rang the bell, the people knew if it was a child, an old person.
Olive, weren't you telling a story that someone used to lift their feet would come right after?
And I know the person that used to ring the bell at the Anglican, because they have the long
gown,
long dresses or whatever they called it. He used to put that on. He was short.
Long regala.
Yeah, he was short, and they said he used to just jump up every time he read the bell. It got colored, yes. Oh, gosh.
Naskiet liugetigan sodeko. Ein hokkalas tanni datla kunjaan.
Koska niillä hauilla osaleissa. Ni kannattaa suitcase, kun ni välttämättä tällä lausaleissa. Tämä on liivaksi.
Liivaksi se on.
Joskin on nityohtune, kun ladlistakalle lasta tulla näitä kuakalle on hasvilla hawe on kuat. Kan puutsi. Siellä
ja kiinteä kieleti.
Laulakas lotstelistu.
Ne kuitsi tuonta tiatakin taas
ne tone ja ne naate teka kahsi. Dat salona ja ne se dat ni. Jalun pui ne johon kusa ne on tikan hakilo dat salona ja ne se ne tiasa kede kanus. Te jalun kona ne. Ja ne naate tätä hotiti hakatsakaa.
Liivasek wikeikin noiden tatadikasjunk.
Tahnuun koskoin jättää tietoa, kun se jonkun huun.
No, ne kui se on vain ja tamutunna te on lihuataan diigaan, kun huenejin niin hoti lihoda.
Niin se oli lihoda.
Hei sun pitää lihoja, kanssa näin kyllä taundona lihuataan diin.
Mun tajatakin haskas ne juba huuni se, että nahtevat tässä lihollaksi. Hakin kokna.
Se kan olla ne se takin.
Nekin ikäjäljelläkin, niin katsotaan tässä konaan takte. Skok sitten kohtaan juone. No kaikki on huojatakin näjäkin, ne on tuolla saakal jahki. Vähän ne on huojatakin, ne on okala okna vaskvahille. Kun nokti on huodikkuanut teki vaan. Ja kun mä tein, että taisali on tuossa. Toki niin kuin skaljaksi.
Nahtadi tuo teillä dinatun kuanhun kaukkas. Häis minä tekan alla vauhtiota saaka vaatiatakin.
Kun ne on niillä vaadin
Tadi nosunike negen biigalina donkan. Nosunike.
Wenegi wa neki niinojatsi te dawi guantaka de volunteer. Neki tuitsaga noksi busy bee. Nega busy bee kadawat naho.
Negi nityo lenyo kanote.
Kale
Data silo wahawen no dago. You know what that means? Then they finish the project. It's agilo nokchin mo wena negwinen a volunteer gwine jasasi. Nokchi, if you really translate it, that's what it is. Because I looked it up in a dictionary.
Wahadiwe no dago.
Natega dinen.
Diksa.
Nata dinen data si wasa tungaliak.
Negwinen has sekohte we invitation gwine ya wet muntungalia. Gnoski nitun yachi wagan. I'll have to look that up in a dictionary.
Ne skinin tinole ni wente linci dat qui dana istega dage asaket. Igui todang datos tenguya dolia tuniolenias. Wagat tungalia ke igui tenguya dage na tuniolenias.
I volunteered. Negon pinesa hatigan volunteer tiga chinate wasi. Wagat tungalia.
Ne jiwa tu nen sungha jiwa. Ya nok tau doa na tegana.
Natadi on nato kia dun natadin wahadiwe no dago.
Megwe tenu halo we be spelling bee or busy bee. That was not on bee.
Bee kas kuntigal adina tung.
Ne?
Busy like a bee.
Busy bee. Tom volunteer nen kai kana yaska.
Nate wasi. Wakatungalia.
Wakatungalia.
Negwi zes hinuandus. Tejat la negana tene tona tongkwat kan nikanat.
Yes, on nedia gono. So
Muskai gui ngiap tu tiap ko te don chongi. Tano.
Noksiga saha kuiga ni tuwakiahan atanuya ni agwe gunte wa hasinte wa yoyente tawi chok natadin owana sola.
Negui oiatsi te dagui wa tana te negua etstian kola can kas.
Neisu niigla angwanungtan.
Wagan no tigi ni nokchis wage ni kol hara te koa yatsi lena ne wa hala na saki hiala ne uske wa.
Neiji kok kaika china tegundi wa ungli wanung dung se waki ungli wanung dung gin hoyatan chakwadlana ikanen wene ni se chiswani ko hao.
Oiaki ni si te dan oknaga de wanda ke kan.
De wanda ke kan.
Waki wanung tu. Negui ga tunio he ga nen sage hiala ne na te kas. La des nguasot.
Nesu nin magano tesu ninoksin. Negu kondusagwe he halakwa.
Negi ni tuniat.
Wahalo sui jenagona sautol. Isin gua wakwezando de han saweka.
Ja, sakwezando dagwin.
Yakina wantinte wakatunde tik. Wakwezandot.
Wakwezanda kui ladina.
Sugos netika agila onunda no ni vene ladina tika ni ka ni agila galan te wa negyo ni ne wakwezanda.
Oi sagunga skui wat ne to kodungat.
Sakwezanda kona onunda atste. Dat ni kane koye.
When you reach half a gallon, had you something in you?
Wei niki oa. Jit on kanachus, kanacha kora swahane danet kana ya jit kane koya hoi. Ye yo kela ne ya yo visto hak.
Tatian sena ni nuna. Das wasa de nokta saset. Ja sakwezanda hoi guio ja sa senagona. Timilais ne dati sendi.
Wakwezanda.
Tano na square son ka naglet tano chika hawin gallon jug that ni half a gallon.
Tanos ne o wise ko swino ne.
Ki
Kala ono
katogi
kala ono wa ka ye wa ka nagla ne tikan. Akilo wi can ka no pasio.
tin can
Kas
yosala
Yen go ahead sunt.
Oni guatla ni gana jo. Kas gas ka hatunga ni atka.
Tano teknia de kasilo na dina.
Ton te wa? Leiti tsasokas
Tän
no.
ivelska skuigva huotaan ja nawakkon.
Wahai nada.
Tän visika ei nä glassa kuin kolailla.
Sen kiin se klivan tuka ik okkoisaan.
Okkoisaan da.
Da. Okkoisaan
Se
da.
wahki.
Ja sakkosaan kun tikisit lahkosaan tot.
Nanki.
Nekään vissiä kilje vuosi vaan tuolle ja kata tuossa niitä talon kun hui nalla soitit jukua niin kuin hauha.
Ne vaini kalle kuiti ja kuinkata tai talon. No se vastaan liikaan.
Kan nokku juhat jo.
No.
Tanske va. Ko noktat dan des hadona dan eka.
Nekin niillä oksaukkoa kyllä on tuitsaa. Tuossa tuot lanne viinahteen ne. Tiedä teikö mun sun keini kun haa. Tat. Ja tong kyllä on tunke. Mun sun keini kun honkikin ton. Ja te voin tuona he tat kanske oksi koske hialla. Men kuin nää tat kyllä on tuo kuin se on seskene hialla.
Tiki niin on niin kuin he soji. That's niin kuin haa kante kuinka tsakkaa ensin.
Onka oka.
Se kun svannu.
Neski niillä oksa. Takia tunji ikel he ake hiallak.
Sitten on niin, että vaikka on rainbow, vaikka nuhta sen asti kun ajat sen soket niin kuin onkin jo.
Tämä on nuo siloka.
No tadi kun ajat.
Joo, silloin kun ikään jot.
Joonja.
Joon. Hättä niin kuin kallisoket niin kuin joon jot. Joonja.
Nähtöisä?
Did you know your grandmother? And what is your oldest memory of her?
Ne jokni kiandeli ne tian ne kuin hagnolha. Ne agosotka. Eliza inda that's Eliza Jane sagodinatok. Kokasniaga. Tano yaki oyeliu te tsadogo sauna ne tsaundungo. Toknigo toknai wiwa cake. Tokni ni wi wakano. Noxineg yung te onolha ka win hagnolha. Onolha.
Ne jo niin hier kiendeli niin aksota onolha ka. Betsikas yon dadjats. Esokas kilo to ja utkotsia kuasa. Työ ja kuessitit ja kohtandi. Tiedätkö se kossesta ja ossesta? Ne kuitenkaan jokisesta, no ne skalatika. Tiedätkö työ ja kuessitit ja kohtandi, no ja kun joku on ja kossesta. Ne kuitenkaan haksota on laako. Toki niin jo leike ja Akilo my great grandmother. Kiendeli nekin ne kotoko, kiendele ne kotoko. Si ei se akilo toista kunnata lennasta sitten kohtandi.
On kiendeli nekin niin haksotkaan. Hakun joonolhaan Elizabeth John hyrda jets. Tämä on skvatsuakan notte jeelo doan. Kanne skvatsuakan notte no sen kuitenkin uskatti was heille se kun on luus. Jot kun tiede, niin on tekee natte näin delen ja vat kanuskos.
Ne ja time dayo down.
Ne kinha ko vaajille vita don tiedien halau. Sitten kun ne kato ko jeede. Noksi sinun skawi nan ne sen do lisson ne ja tekee ja lakalle to andatsa niin kesen sanoi ska. Noksi kendeli neki. Niin.
Naka. Ne kun niin keille tiga Hagnu ha osot. Tahnu negi nigeology koso knina he. Go knina he tatna hassani gondlatstewa kega oknane wa undun gohtega noksia egas niegon quislas kos ilat gandung tagui to agon quis tone na einige sai elanga osiga Eliza yunda jets kwe yakini de gele wina te yunda jets kwe
Ja kuidoga no. Kisna honga kyunti Antone kanssa no noksia. Ja tuolla tilat
keneet sajaa. Ja kos hand tosjekia ja kos tika sanol haagneek vitika ikne ei opsotka. Neekas takas honna dan looti neeki takin inon nyt vakat hundes tika leisi peeni dat natu.
Ne.
Laisi te. Ne. Noksi neeki neeki
Nikuikadaksot konkas honna tolo ko tika noisa lauskan nekas kuhia kos sanol haagot sitä koja. Dan haassa ja olet että ja olet satia kauslia ko.
Kochini olena sa chadlanen lo.
Ei kiinni nidokan. No keelaskin tika chitunu eikä jakwas.
Hakal jani kon non hakri tindili ne ko dokon.
Nikunen hiko aksot ko. Nikunen kan petsi nikunen hakau haun hakau.
Neeki tekniikka.
Tekniikka.
I'll go.
Joo.